the junior. He has come on, 6'4" senior. He's now averaging 13-2. Early in the year, he didn't get the ball. He's now getting the ball, and he's got some confidence.
He's a player that really has surprised everybody coming into this season. You know, earlier in the season, he was just kind of in there as a role player, but he's really come into his own as a really reliable scorer for this Covenant Christian squad and a good complement to the scoring of Trey Flatt, as we mentioned. And, you know, I called one of his games earlier this season. He came away with 21 points in that ball game, while Trey Flatt only came away with 10. So if somehow Trey Flatt is unable to be Trey Flatt, you can at least ask Brock Buckley to be Brock Buckley.
And there's always the Graham boys that can knock down shots. This is a good nucleus team. For Attucks, I think they go with Isaiah Stafford, number 12, 6'2" senior, 19.5 a game, and James Smith, who's been playing very well as a senior, 13 points a game. But both of them control, and big, tall, lanky. It's hard to put things past them when they play that zone.
Well, yeah, you have a whole plethora of players on this Attucks squad that are really able to score and get things done. Of course, you mentioned Isaiah Stafford, the leading complement to really replacing a player in Sincere McMahon, who graduated last year for Attucks. You're going to look for a big performance from him as well, but a whole bunch of other guys such as Jalen Hooks, that sophomore, adding a lot of length down low, and James Smith as well to complement that. You have a really, really solid and athletic team in Crispus Attucks that are really able to just plow through anybody and anyone that goes up against them.
We're going to take our last break. When we come back, we'll break something else, we'll break a few more things, and then we'll throw it to Jimmy Cook and Sean Crawl, who has the call for you. But we'll be back right after this. You're watching Indiana SRN.
There's no greater anti-poverty measure than to give a person a job. That helps them start to change that trajectory.
Morales Group is a full-service staffing company that provides temporary labor in the Indianapolis, Central Indiana market.
It was a challenge that was given by my father. He wanted me to give back much more than I had been. Then I realized that when he said more, he wanted me to see how I could give more. And it wasn't just in money, but in time and in services. And that's how the Morales Group was created.
I started off at Morales Group as an intern. I interned for 3 years before going on full-time staff here. What I love most about Morales Group is that big family aspect. I come from a big family in Mexico, and since the company is continuously growing, I feel like there's always a new member of the family that I get to know.
We're willing to give. We're willing to serve others, and we're not expecting something in return.
Come talk to us. We would love to work with you.
Different kind of seating, a different kind of place. This year at Tech High School, hardly any fans kind of miss it. We're distance, and we're doing what we're supposed to do for the safety of the kids. But, boy, it's still the Final Four. Now we have one more ticket to stamp.
Well, yeah, talking to the coaches, before the tournament even started, it's just a matter of the fact that, yeah, there's fewer fans here, and, of course, any fans that are unable to attend, you can watch right here on Indiana SRN. But, nonetheless, it doesn't take away from the paramountness of the games itself, especially because, it's the City Alliance tournament. It's one of the most prestigious tournaments that these teams play in during their season, outside of possibly, going for a state championship later on in the season. Right. So you have a lot of good matchups here this evening, and you're going to have another one here to try and see who's going to be playing Cathedral in that final on Monday.
And we're glad that the IPSathletics.tv network is with us. The IHSAA.TV network is also with us. Indiana SRN, this is our 8th year. Kurt, I know you're doing the championship game on Monday. Have a good time. That does it for us. You'll see us at halftime. We'll throw it to Jimmy Cook and Sean Crawl. They'll have the play for you coming up next right here on Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back to Tech High School. It is pregame show for game number 2, Covenant Christian versus Crispus Attucks. The 2 and the 3 seeds here in the city tournament, duking it out to see who faces Cathedral High School in the city championship on Monday night. I'm Sean Kroll. Joining me here in just a second is Jimmy Cook, as we are set for this, a rematch of one of the semifinals from last year, where Crispus Attucks took care of business and defeated Covenant Christian handily, although this team is a little bit different this year for Covenant, and there are 12-1. Attucks is 13-2. Covenant ranked 8th in 2A. Attucks 6th in the AP and in the coaches poll in 4A. And Jimmy, this is going to be a fantastic basketball game. I got a feeling it could be a potential track meet.
Yeah, Sean, it's going to be one of those games where for Covenant Christian, if you're able to be as effective as you have been at times this season from beyond the arc, and you're able to control the pace at the way you want it to be played at, you can make this a ball game. You mentioned Covenant Christian coming in at 12-1 on the season. They're winners of 11 of their last 12 games, currently riding a 4-game win streak, including that win against Heritage Christian in the quarterfinals, 81-46 just a few days ago. On the Attucks side of things, they've been rolling on all cylinders, winners of 7 of their last 8, riding a 4-game win streak, and defeated Cardinal Ritter 92-57 in the city quarterfinals. Attucks, as prestigious as they come, ranked 6th in the state, the 2 seed here in this prestigious City Alliance tournament. Oh, and by the way, they're the defending champions, so Covenant Christian can have their plates full tonight. Yeah, I mean, we had the privilege of having the championship game last year on Indian SRM between Cathedral and Attucks, and it was I don't even know how to describe it, to be completely honest with you. It was one of the wildest, best, craziest games I think we've ever had on the family of networks of Indian SRN, and Attucks somehow managed, even with Sincere McMahon fouling out midway through the fourth quarter, to pull off the victory. You felt like that was going to be a moment in that contest where Attucks would falter and ends up going, as you mentioned, 2 overtimes. The Tigers are a proven team. They were a team that obviously gets bounced last year in sectionals, but a team that Coach Hawkins very much thought had an opportunity to capture a state title last year. They obviously don't get out of sectionals, but still a number of familiar faces on this Attucks team from a year ago. They're proud of where they're ranked inside the top 10 in Class 4A, but they know there's so much more to achieve for them this season, and they ideally would like to have a date with Cathedral, a rematch of last year's city final, and a chance to defend their crown. Yeah, look at some of the players that really were big for them last year. Keyshawn Ware was huge for them. He doesn't even start anymore because you've had guys like Jalen Hooks and Isaiah Stafford and James Smith come in. We see, Donovan Barnett and Jalen Carson, Charles Veal, those guys from last year. But the newcomers that have come in really make a huge difference for this Attucks squad. And we look again, their 2 losses: Lawrence Central, Lawrence North, one ranked number 1, one ranked in the top 15 in the coaches poll. Covenant really has their work cut out for them, but they're a good squad because they've had some guys come in as well. Yeah, we look at Covenant's roster. The main story clearly is Trey Flatt, averaging just under 20 points per contest, shooting at an impressive 42% from the field, but he's also had plenty of running mates this year. You and I talked about it a little bit off air coming into this one. So many different role players on this team, like a Brock Buckley, the junior, averaging 12 points per contest, or Brian Lomax, a senior, averaging 11 points per game. They've had other scoring options that there are certain nights where maybe Flatt has an off night, or maybe they're not having to go to him as often as they were a year ago. He's still being efficient, but they're still putting a high percentage rate of field goal efficiency and also a high scoring output, averaging about 76 points per game. Yeah, Lomax and Wilson are 2 guys that can get to the rim, which helps them. You've got a guy like Brock Buckley who really does all the dirty work, essentially, rebounds, makes shots, so on and so forth.
You've also got guys like Graham Shelton, who occasionally starts and may start tonight. We don't know for sure yet. He can knock down some threes as well. Caleb Crane's been in this program for 4 years, so they've got lots. This is the most talented Covenant Christian team I've seen in 10 years.
And what's wild about that is Coach Flatt has been around for all of it. His 16th year at the program. He's built this thing from the ground up. He knows they are in prime position to try to win the whole thing, really, not only tonight, but in Class 2A. He knows this group is good enough, is talented enough to climb to the top of that mountain in March.
Oh, they 100% have the talent to be able to do that in Class 2A, and they've won the sectional the past couple of years. They're looking to advance past that, and this is a game right here that's going to allow them to see where they stand, because you always want to play those teams that are going to give you the best chance to grow, to be ready come sectional and regional and semi-state time.
When we look a little bit deeper into this one, we mentioned for Covenant Christian, it's going to be about being efficient from beyond the arc. You're going to need a quality game from Trey Flatt. We've talked about number 3 on your screen there, how important the senior has been to them this year. However, they've been able to move along the season as it goes with win after win after win, even if he isn't having his best game. That's been from play of Lomax, from play of Buckley. I think tonight, if Covenant Christian is going to come out on top and move on to face Cathedral on Monday night, they're going to need a strong outing from Trey Flatt. Not an over-aggressive outing, but a smart and efficient outing.
I like the word you use there, over-aggressive, because we've seen in the last couple of years, he gets so wound up for these games and so hyped for these games that in the early going, he can get out of control, and it can be something that negatively affects the team. He's got to play within himself, and you expect that from a senior on this squad to be able to do that. And if there's any game where they need it, it's tonight, because Attucks is so fabulously talented. He's got to really play within himself.
For the Tigers, I guess diving a little bit as they work through the starting lineups here momentarily, we'll start first with the Tigers. You already hit on the Christians a little bit. What are the keys to victory tonight for Crispus Attucks?
Crispus Attucks needs to shoot well. They need to get other people involved, I think, and the big thing too is to be able to rebound as they have been rebounding so far. They can't let Covenant Christian get some early rebound advantages in terms of second opportunities for them to be able to do that. They got to let Covenant have one shot and done.
And on Covenant's side of things, we already mentioned a little bit how we expect the three-point shooting to play a factor, but you believe, like I do, that Covenant can actually play with this team pacing-wise if they're smart about it, if they pick their spots right.
They are. Both these teams like to get up and down the floor, and usually Attucks is a team you don't want to run with, but I think they have enough athletes and enough discipline to be able to run with them in select situations. I'm not sure this is a game where you want to go from the starting point and just be a track meet, because I don't think anybody in the state can do that with Attucks.
Looking at starters for both teams, starting first with Covenant Christian, it'll be Luke Shelton, Graham Shelton, and Trey Flatt rounding out the guard looks for the Warriors, along with Michael Wilson and Brock Buckley rounding out the starting 5 for the Warriors. Head coach, as we mentioned, is Scott Flatt. In his 16th season at the helm of Covenant Christian, 178 and 174 is his record. 12-1 are the Warriors, ranked 8 in Class 2A. And on the other side of the score, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna mention something about that starting lineup, but
please go ahead.
A guy to watch tonight is this gentleman right here, number 12, Isaiah Stafford. He and James Smith have really made a world of difference in this Crispus Attucks team this year in the games that I've seen them play.
Looking at starters for Crispus Attucks, the 6th-ranked team in Class 4A and the 2 seed out here tonight. As Sean just mentioned, the sophomore Jalen Hooks just standing up there, averaging 11.5 per game. He'll start at 1 center. At the guard slot, Donovan Barnett. The other guard slot, it'll be James Smith, Isaiah Stafford, and Jalen Carson playing forward, respectively, for the Tigers. Head coach is Chris Hawkins in his 5th year. Won a state title in the 16-17 season. He's 97-26. The Tigers are 13-2. To jump it up will be Jalen Carson and Brock Buckley. We are underway in game number 2 of the semifinals for a date with Cathedral on Monday night here in the City Alliance tournament.
I brought up that point about the guards because thinking about the keys for Covenant, they need to stop Smith and Stafford because they're really the straw that stirs the drink for Attucks.
Beautiful cut down low and nice finish by Jalen Carson. He draws first blood for the Tigers, 2-0.
Jalen Hooks can do that. They like to flash him up to the free throw line, and he found Carson down on the post.
Such a good passer even as a sophomore.
Yes. And he's 6'7" as well, so that's a huge advantage for them.
A high basketball IQ, able to utilize that wingspan, find the open man. Michael Wilson controls with a little bit of separation. Graham Shelton will tee up a three. That's long. The board is won by the Tigers. Quickly is this pacing, but give credit to Attucks getting the ball up the floor. However, give credit to Covenant Christian for getting back defensively. Look inside, falling away. Might have been a travel. Shot off the mark by Carson. Rebound won by Wilson.
I think Wilson's in the starting lineup for his quickness against this Crispus Attucks team. And the Sheltons are in for their shooting.
The senior certainly is sharp with the ball handling. Makes great plays without the basketball as well. Wilson will rise and fire for three. That's an air ball. Fortunate, though, are the Warriors. That was last touched by Donovan Barnett. Could not corral it on the baseline. Will stay on this end.
I think one of the reasons why both Sheltons are started tonight is for their three-point shooting. I think Covenant Christian wants to try and draw in and dish out to open shooters and see if that gives them some three-point opportunities here early in the basketball game.
Flat to Wilson. Flat a three. In and out. Going to need shots like that to go down tonight, Sean. Great play defensively, though, by Trey. He's got a 3-on-3. Nice hesitation. Wilson is there to bail it out. Corner. Triple. Shelton. Short. His brother Luke gets the rebound. Beautiful pass to Buckley. His layup's off the mark. Hesitates and scores to tie it.
Nice job by him after the block of bringing the ball back down on the floor and going to the other side of the rim and using that as a defender to get a shot.
Yeah, he didn't rush it. Took his time. Knew he had an opportunity. Blocking foul is called. On the drive there was Barnett. He will shoot a pair.
Well, that's a close one because Buckley tried to take the charge there. They're going to try and do that a lot, especially Buckley. Those are the kind of things he does down low because they know from watching the film how much Attucks likes to get in close, in deep, and get easy shots.
Inside penetration on those drives are bread and butter for the Tigers. As you mentioned, it'll be interesting to see how it's counteracted by Covenant Christian.
I was surprised they pressed them to be, if I can be completely honest, that was something I did not expect this early from Covenant Christian.
Free throws are split by Barnett. Lead belongs to Attucks at 3-2. I think we had an official's time. Scoreboard issue. They'll get things corrected. The Warriors will throw in the backcourt. Flat will go get it. We mentioned the fine line you need from Trey Flat. Nothing necessarily over-aggressive, but you need him to be a playmaker tonight. Make shots when he's called upon. Shelton to Buckley. Nice hesitation on the drive. Lays it up and in with the offhand there.
And this is a kid who's going to play baseball in college. He's got a great game.
Multi-sport athlete. You don't see that as often in the modern high school sports. Nice drive with a finger roll there by Smith off the mark. Putback is true by Jalen Carson. Carson now with 4. 5-4 Attucks lead.
They can't allow them to get second shot opportunities, especially that close. If they're going to get a rebound, make them kick it back out and reset the offense. Talking about Trey Flat, he's had a 50-point game earlier this year. That's unheard of anymore in high school basketball.
I believe, as you would expect, that was a Covenant Christian record, if I'm not mistaken, that night.
I believe he hit 11 threes.
That also was a school record, if I'm remembering that portion of the notes correctly. Triple off the mark by Buckley. You're exactly right, though, about the second chance opportunities. Covenant Christian can't have any of that for Attucks. You have to be sealing your man, boxing out, and crashing on the defensive glass.
100%.
Skip pass over to Smith. Now Stafford, he'll try a triple. Long. Rebound falls into the basket of Shelton. Approaching the halfway point of this first quarter. Lower scoring than I anticipated early stages.
We saw this in the beginning, too, of game number 1. Teams kind of had to feel each other out, and the rims out, I think, as well.
Wilson. Pressured by Barnett. Now gives over to Graham Shelton. He's guarded by Smith. Aggressive man-to-man look by Attucks. Stifling right now for the Covenant Christian offensive attack. How patient will they stay?
You've got guys like Buckley and Shelton that hit threes, but
Hooks off to the races, and he threw it down.
Oh.
Hard fall. He's okay. Quickly back up to his feet. Thankfully, he didn't land on his head.
oh my goodness.
And a lob the other end. That layup is missed. What a slam for Hooks. You knew it was going to be a highlight play to begin with. Thank goodness he's all right. Gives a thumbs up to the official.
Oh my goodness. Do you think part of that is because of the technical foul he saw in the first game?
Exactly. You want to make sure that you have that fine line as Flat travels the basketball. Great pressure there by Stafford. You want to make sure you have a fine line between safety and sportsmanship. I understand, but you're right. He got let go of the rim right away. Man.
Whew. And Coach Flat was none too happy with that turnover because there was a little bit of contact from Stafford on Flat, and they called the travel on Flat. He was in the ear of the official.
Got to keep your feet stable. That was great pressure applied. Here's a triple left side for Smith. Way off the mark. Here come the Warriors. Flat matches up with Stafford. Almost had his pocket picked.
Ball handling's been an issue early for Covenant. Can't do that against this squad.
Turnovers left and right. Wilson hesitates. He had his pocket picked. 3 straight turnovers by either team. Hooks to the rim. Can't get that to go.
They're letting him play as well.
So it turned into a sloppy track meet. Buckley sees daylight, lays it up and in. Make that Graham Shelton, rather. He's got 6. Timeout taken. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Your score, Attucks 7, Covenant Christian 6.
I'm still kind of shook by that Jalen Hooks. That was so close to being really ugly, and thank goodness he's okay.
I mean, anytime you have a player going up to do something with the aerial attack, and it's a dunk like that where it's an awkward fall, you hope he's all right. I think Hooks wasn't even spooked by it. I think you and I were more spooked than he was. He was quickly back up to his feet.
The thing that's really stood out for me so far is I think Covenant's trying to move too fast. I think their brains are moving faster than their bodies are, and it's causing them to mishandle the basketball. And you cannot, with the defense that Attucks has in their quick hands, you've got to handle the basketball well, or they will pick your pocket all night.
And they're playing into the Tigers' hand if that's what's happening. If they're moving too quickly and overthinking, that's exactly what Crispus Attucks wants out of this.
Yes, it is.
Out of the timeout. Stafford has it. Now they feed inside. Carson going to work. Turns. No friendly rim. Put back by Hooks. No. Carson a second chance and puts it in. There you go, Sean. You got to stay consistent on the glass.
You can't leave Buckley being the only guy down there against Hooks and Carson to try and rebound. He'll lose every time.
3-point lead. Flat on the drive to answer. A wild scoop layup. Won't go for him. Tigers up the other way. Smith all the way to the cup and scores.
I'm not sure how much longer Coach Flat can play both Sheltons, to be honest with you.
Largest lead of the game for the Tigers. Foul called on James Smith. His first on the Tigers. Side out, Flat will inbound.
He's got to get more quickness in it, unless there's something wrong with BJ Lomax. You've got to get him in this game for his quickness and his ball handling ability.
Buckley picked up his dribble. Smothered by Carson. Now he can go with it. Works baseline. Tried to thread the needle. I think that was kicked. Indeed it was. It'll stay on this end. We talked about in earlier broadcasts of this Covenant Christian team that they have a lot of depth for a 2A school. I wonder if they're hoping for BJ Lomax to be a sixth man and a spark plug, and that's why they went with that adjustment in the lineup. Also, Shelton did return from, I believe an injury, if I'm not mistaken, just a few games ago.
But you would think they would have played him already within 2 minutes of the end of the first quarter.
Oh! Thinking slam time there was Stafford. Went too long with it. Bounced off the back iron into the hands of Flat. There's a blocking foul on Barnett.
Does the rim get a block shot on that?
I don't think the statistician has that in the book.
Passing, you cannot let those passes be anticipated by Attucks. Luckily, they got away with it with that missed dunk.
And fortunately, as you mentioned, just a 5-point deficit.
Caleb Crane looks like he's checked in for Covenant Christian.
$1:41 to go in this first quarter. Good eye there. We'll keep monitoring Crane's play as he checks in for the first time. Wilson gives over to Crane his first touch. Now Flat. Nice head fake. Beautiful find. Buckley for 3. Short. Rebound falls to Brock. Gives it to Flat. He'll try the triple. That one's good. Trey Flat from downtown.
They needed that one in the worst way.
Makes it a 2-point ball game. And that's the type of confidence you need from Flat as this one goes on.
Oh, that was a push-off. I don't know how he got away with that.
Smith gets the basket out of it.
That was Buckley again doing Buckley things, but the referee didn't bite.
Buckley hesitation, goes baseline aggressively, blocked from behind by the Tigers. A trio of Tigers there. Hooks, spins, Carson, why not? Long, rebound Wilson. Try to outrun Hooks here. Might have pushed off. Hooks sends it into Tomorrow, blocked away. Second chance is pure though. Graham Shelton stays with it. He's now got 4, 2-point game, final 30 seconds of the quarter.
I don't see why Wilson's slowed down there. Take it strong. Go up and under the basket. Use that as an extra defender.
Smith, nice hop step. Floater up, floater in. Smith with a couple quick baskets. 6 for him now. Lead back to 4.
He and Carson both have 6.
Pass up ahead to Shelton. He now has 6. Final shot of the quarter belongs to the Tigers. Not a lot of urgency here, though.
They've stuck with them.
Stolen away. Wilson's not going to get a shot off. Give Covenant Christian credit. They trailed by as many as 5. They've got it down to a 2-point game after 1. Attucks 15, Covenant Christian 13. You're watching the City Alliance semifinals on Indiana SRN.
You got a broken door, trapped car, you can't buy time.
We take it very seriously and take pride in being responsive.
We have all of Central Indiana covered from Martinsville,
Avon, up to Anderson,
to Cicero.
There's always somebody in your area.
It's important that we're able to get there, same day because people's time is valuable.
On our trucks, we carry just about everything we need to fix a garage door right then and there.
Sunshine, rain, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Welcome back to the City Alliance semifinals. Second quarter about to get underway. Jimmy Cook alongside Sean Kroll. So pleased you've chosen to spend part of your Saturday with us here on Indiana SRN, the conclusion of a super Saturday of basketball. That started all the way, 2:30 today is when they kicked things off?
Yes, it was.
Had a nice semifinal number 1 between Cathedral and Tinley. Cathedral wins that one going away and awaits the winner of this. Start of the second quarter. Warriors will have the basketball down by 2. Sean, we talked about it a little bit off air during that break. Not the best quarter that we've seen from the Warriors this season, but they're only down 2.
Yeah, sorry, I'm actually getting updates from people at the game. Is one of the Covenant players that was in the boot I thought was Devon Woods. It's actually Brian Lomax.
Well, there's your answer.
That's why he hasn't played so far, yeah. So that's a weapon they can't use, but Crane's been around this program, and they've still got plenty of guys. They're right there with 2 points. And, one of the things we talked about was getting those easy buckets in those last 2 possessions when Attucks tried to press them. And
Crane
there's the ball handling.
Almost lost it. Up the other way. Finger roll is true. Knocking it down is Donovan Scott off the bench. Averages about 4 points per game for the Tigers. The lead now 4.
I think the number one thing Covenant has to do is take care of the basketball.
You can't give fast break opportunities up on a platter for this Tigers team. They'll make you pay every time.
Every time.
Wilson looking for a little bit of motion. Stifling defense all around by the Tigers. Nice screen. They find Graham Shelton for 3. That's good. Graham Shelton having himself a first half. Give him 9 in the half, and the lead is 1.
That gives him confidence and gives them another shooter to draw the defenders down and maybe see if they can find some stuff down low.
Quickly up ahead, Donovan Scott finds Hooks. A circus shot does not go.
I think Flat may have got a hand on that.
Warriors have numbers if they want. Wilson all the way to the cup. He puts it up and in, and the Warriors have the lead.
They're not afraid of this Attucks team.
Stafford rising and firing a calm answer. Isaiah Stafford, if you'll believe it, his first basket of the night.
Averages almost 20 a game.
Been held in check so far. Shelton picked up his dribble in a horrible spot. Wilson controls. Crane now to Flat, goes in the corner.
Mims got him.
Wilson thought about a triple. Back there is Mays on defense. That's knocked out of bounds. For the Warriors, it'll stay on this end.
One of the things I loved there was Buckley's ability to drive into the lane and get space, but also Trey Flat cutting down to the hole, to the basket to try and get an easy shot.
Flat tried to force the issue to Buckley. It's stolen away. Mims up ahead. Stafford lays it up and in. Stafford with 4 quick ones after being held scoreless.
Has Attucks even run a set offensively that's got them a bucket, or has everything come on fast breaks so far?
I think they had a couple of looks, quick elbow jumpers, but very fast-paced overall. Haven't had to go to the half court. Shelton again, no, but the putback is true for Caleb Crane off the bench, and a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Great positioning and a smart. To me, that was brilliant. That is the time where you don't grab the ball and bring it back down. He had a great chance. He saw the defender was on him. Just tip it, see if it goes in, because they're going to call that foul. It went down, and now he has a chance for 3.
Crane, the senior, a 63% free throw shooter on the season. It's good to complete the three-point play, and we're deadlocked at 21.
This three-quarter court pressure is really interesting from Covenant.
I'm surprised they went to the well with that, with how quickly Attucks feels like they can get up the floor. Had a chance for the rebound there. We can't emphasize enough how important that's going to be as this game goes on.
It's a smart play by Scott.
Scott, beautiful pass to Mims. That hit the side of the backboard. Mims chased it down. Warriors wanted to travel. It's a turnover. Wilson, nice find. Shelton lays it up and beat the defense. 11 points for Graham Shelton in this first half.
It looked a little awkward, but he had to get that shot off early because he knew the defender was coming. Smart play by the senior.
Yeah, there was a block party coming up from behind. Carson forces the issue on that pass. Gets it back in the post on Shelton. Turns and scores. Jalen Carson bullying down there.
I'm not sure Covenant has anybody that can guard Carson on the block. He's got a great low post game.
Shelton will give to Buckley. Able to get around the defender all the way to the rim. Can't turn it home. He'll head to the line to earn the 2 points the hard way. Man, what an aggressive take there by Brock Buckley. No fear with 3 defenders around him.
No, and he's normally one of their lower post guys, but he has enough of a game outside, like we just saw there, to draw the defense out and really kind of create some space.
Buckley left that short. Shoots it at a 70% clip. He'll have one more.
And I think we've seen it in a couple of possessions here recently for Covenant, especially with that last one from Wilson. He drove all the way down to the rim and then kicked it all the way back out top left circle for a 3. I think that's what they want to try and do tonight, is try and get open threes.
Buckley splits the pair. He now has 5. Give a 1-point lead to the Warriors. Pass inside, stolen away by Crane. Up ahead to Flat. It's a 3-on-4. And the Tigers back on defense. They'll reset things. Wilson to Crane. Buckley now to Shelton. Almost face guarding him now, Sean. Wilson, beautiful find and a great pump fake, but a defensive effort there by Kevin Mims. I thought he was going to be out of the play on that pump fake, and he gets a paw on it.
Just a last-ditch, quick hands effort to try and get his hand on the ball, and he managed to do it to take away the easy layup. What a great play by Mims.
So much talent on the floor for the Tigers. Flat says clear out. Gets to Shelton past the halfway point of this second quarter.
I love this matchup, Stafford and Flat. 2 of the best players in the state.
Been looking forward to it all week. It'll be fun to watch as the night progresses. Blocking foul called there on Kevin Mims. Flat, and maybe this doesn't get covered enough or is an underrated part of his game. He's so good at contorting his body, getting around defenders, putting them in awkward positions, enabling situations for fouls to be drawn.
Well, I think at the same time, the strength that young man has to be able to do that and still maintain his balance is pretty impressive. We saw that on the football field when he played defensive end and tight end for the state champions.
Great vision there by Flat to find a cutting Crane. Could not get the layup to go. Defense was still strong there for the Tigers. It will stay on this end, though. They'll say last touch by Crispus Attucks. Wilson, the trigger man, gives to Crane. A long possession here for Covenant Christian. Definitely want points out of it. Wilson all the way to the rack. No. Crane lost the basketball. Falls to Carson, who gets it to Mays. Flat read that. Runs with it, now resets things. Tigers back on defense.
Well, the turnover count in this basketball game is huge.
You mentioned earlier how you've been surprised that we haven't seen a lot of half-court sets. Shelton from the parking lot, that was a heat check. Haven't seen a lot of half-court sets tonight. And one for James Smith. That's part of the reason why they haven't really needed to. The Tigers are quick enough to be able to get up the floor. Chance for the three-point play upcoming for Smith. But you mentioned we haven't seen a lot of Tigers half-court action. I'll tell you this, the ones we have seen, the defense has been pretty strong for Covenant Christian.
Yeah, and really, just looking back, the sets that they've run where they've scored, it's been to Carson on the blocks.
Just bullying his way down there. Three-point play completed. Lead back to Attucks.
Oh, three ball from Flat.
Long triple. Trey Flat knocks it down. His second of the ball game. Oh, there's a turnover. Gonna find Flat again. Does he have the heat? He does. Bang, bang, back to back for Trey Flat. And it's a 4-point lead, largest of the night.
Off balance
for Covenant Christian. Wild pass, as Sean mentioned. Active hands on defense for the Warriors.
I've been very impressed with their defense tonight and their active hands, not getting in foul trouble either.
A 6-0 run, Flat, crossover, stops. That one's wide of the mark. Got a nice look. He loves that step back. Under 2 to play in this first half.
That was his heat check.
You're not wrong there. Barnett lost it off his knee, I think. It will indeed go to Covenant Christian. Let's take a look back at these Flat triples.
And we're hearing they only gave him 2 in that second one. Yep, they said it was 2. Because his foot was on the line.
Good eye to the officials and good eye to you there. So make it just 2 triples on the night for Trey Flat. But that 2-point field goal as well gives him 7. The lead is now 3 instead of 2, 29-26.
Covenant's exactly where they want to be at this point of the ball game. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half with the lead and the basketball.
Wilson using the handles, finds Crane. He hesitates. Now sees daylight. Scoop layup. That's goaltending. Or is it a foul? Or is it both? It is a foul at the very least. And it's going to be 2 shots. I thought that was going to be on its way down.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was too. Did they call that foul on Smith, I believe, or did they call that on Barnett?
Take a look.
Boy, that's close to a goaltend.
I'm not as confident about it as I was in real time, though.
I think they may have gave that foul to number 2, Barnett, at his second.
First free throw short for Crane. A 63%er on the year as a team. The Warriors shoot just under 65% from the charity stripe.
Those are the little things you have to do if you want to beat Attucks. When you get opportunities like this from the free throw line, you have to take advantage of them.
Well, it's the art of the upset. Limit your turnovers. Be efficient at the charity stripe. Play stout, strong defense. Number of different ingredients there, but you can't have anything missing. Lob at the rim. Layup is true for Jalen Hooks. Just 4 points for him in this ballgame. That's another surprise.
Yeah, he's been on the bench for quite a while, but if that is a better pass, I think that was a rim rocker for sure.
No doubter. Just over a minute left in this first half. What an exciting first half it's been, back and forth for both these teams. Covenant Christian going pound for pound with the Tigers. Sheldon has it. He has had himself a first half. Now Wilson controls. Buckley crosses up, Hooks, lost the basketball, falls right to Carson. See how aggressive the Tigers are. Will they keep that same pace they've had all night? Hooks in the corner is doubled. Carson on the block. A little bit of contact, put back, no, and a nice rebound on the weak side there by Brock Buckley.
That was a great shot of them being able to not give them more than a couple of chances at tips underneath because Carson and Hooks were both there.
Flat with Mims all over him. Got by him. Hands to Crane, almost turned over. Wilson, extra pass. The hot man in Shelton is an air ball. Carson gets it with 4. Up ahead with 3 to Stafford with 1. Rises at the horn. It won't go. Got a great look at it. And how about this at halftime? Is there an upset brewing? The Covenant Christian Warriors on top of Crispus Attucks by 2 at the break. This has been as good, better than advertised.
It has been with as interestingly. We watched this game, and there's been a ton of turnovers, and there's been a lot of back and forth. But I think when you think about it as a fan, it's been fun. Basketball purists would say, oh, there's too many turnovers and so many. But it's just been a fun game so far. Back and forth, all these plays happening. And, we'll see right here this triple by Trey Flatt. He's played really well so far, what they've needed him to be.
The first half, if we're giving out game balls or halftime awards, Graham Shelton came out firing right away for the Warriors when they needed it most.
They needed someone to start hot early. He was that guy for them until everybody kind of got into the flow, and Trey Flatt was able to get his bearings going on. Jalen Carson and Smith have been amazing so far for them as well.
On the other side of things, you hit the nail right on the head. Carson and Smith have stepped up big time. I'm looking to see a little bit more from the likes of Jalen Hooks, however, as we see this second half roll on. They haven't needed it with the fast break play, though. That has been so successful. The surprise at halftime, Covenant Christian on top of Crispus Attucks, 30-28. Stay with us. We'll have more after this. It's the City Alliance semifinals on Indiana SRN.
More fixing, more finding, more being original. Unique like this, trendy like that. More designing this, arranging that. More saving, and then more making it happen. More of your space looking like this, and more of you feeling like that. More excitement, more savings, more furniture, more rugs, more flooring. More affordable luxury from RG Decor.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
What a first half it has been here at the City Alliance, semifinal number 2. Covenant Christian leads 30-28 over Crispus Attucks. It's time for Hoosier Basketball Magazine time again. If you don't have your Hoosier Basketball Magazine, it's the 51st annual Hoosier Basketball Magazine. Check it out at any bookstore, or you can get it online at Hoosier Basketball Magazine. You can also follow them on Twitter at HBB Magazine, Hoosier Basketball Magazine, the 51st edition. And if you look at his summer pages, you see our ad, Indiana SRN. So Hoosier Basketball Magazine. A lot of first half action, a great first half for Covenant Christian, as they have now taken the lead at 30-28. A lot of turnovers in the game, as the fellow said, but really a fun game to watch. Hope that you're enjoying it. Don't forget the City Alliance Championship game is Monday night at 7:30 right here on Indiana SRN. It's Indiana SRN where you're always in the game. We have great games for you, and we got the second half of our schedule, plus girls sectional starting in February. Don't forget the draw is tomorrow at 6 o'clock on the IHSAA TV network. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Cold is just around the corner, and here at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling,
we're ready for anything.
We care about our craft like we care about our customers.
Our technicians are fully certified
and up to speed on the latest equipment.
Available 24/7, we don't leave anybody in the cold.
That's our top priority.
We don't just work for the company.
We are the company.
So we do the best we can for every one of our customers.
Trust the name you know at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers. Summers.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
We hope that you enjoy our coverage tonight, the post-game show, the pre-game show, and all the stuff in between. We hope that you enjoyed it. If you have and you enjoyed it, contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. If you'd like to help us and put more kids on the tube, contact us at Indiana SRN. That's coach@indianasrn.org. Or there's a donate button right there on the broadcast. Hit that donate button, and we'll be happy to do that. Don't forget, Monday night, right here, 7:30 start, the City Alliance Championship game. It's the winner of this game, which could be Attucks or Covenant Christian. This is a toss-up, or versus Cathedral High School. Until we meet again, I'm Keith Myers. Thanks for joining us. The fellas come back with the second half right after this. You're listening and watching Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
What's the number one misconception you think about Freemasonry?
Well, I think most people just think of Freemasonry as some kind of secret society, and you go with some of the rumors out there and so on, and they really don't understand who we are. They don't understand that we are a fraternity of brothers first, and our obligation is to take care of each other and our widows and orphans, etc., within our group. They don't understand what the fraternity part of Freemasonry really is, and that's the misconception that's out there. I think first and foremost of anyone that wants to join Freemasonry, I'd like them to know that it's really not a secret society. You may say it's a society with a secret because we have some handshakes and some passwords that you could easily find down in a library if you get the right book. Freemasonry is more, it's a brotherhood, it's a fraternity, it's a way of sharing common thoughts and everything with people of all different vocations that really understand of getting together on the level. Whether you're a judge or a police officer or a janitor, you're all on the same level when you're in a Masonic lodge room. And I think that's one of the greatest things, that you can sit with people of all vocations, but you have that certain thing in common, that you're all brothers.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As Vice President of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Welcome back to Tech High School. Start of the third quarter, just a few moments away. Site of the City Alliance semifinals and championship game. What a historic arena, and what is set up for an exciting and could be historic upset if things roll Covenant Christian's way. They lead by 2, 30-28 over Crispus Attucks. Jimmy Cook alongside Sean Kroll. Sean, that first half impressed me in a number of ways. On the Tigers side, you mentioned it a couple times in the broadcast, we didn't get a lot of half-court looks, but man, is that transition offense as efficient as you could hope for.
On Attucks' side, it is, and I think one of the things they want to try and do here in the second half, they've got to get Hooks and Stafford more involved. They each only have 4 points, 2 of their leading scorers, and if you would have told me Covenant led by 2 at halftime, I wouldn't be as surprised as the fact that Attucks only has 28 points.
On the other side of the coin for the Warriors, Graham Shelton, 11 points, 4 clicks above his average, was efficient throughout that entire first half, but also you got a confident playmaking, as you would always hope for, in Trey Flatt. 8 points for him in that first half.
I think that was key. We've seen the last couple of years how he tends to get so excited and play out of control. There was really only one play in that first half, and you mentioned it, the body control, where things like that happen. I think he was a calming figure for them, and he allowed Shelton to get his shots until he got going and knocked down a couple of threes, and I think the team fed off of that.
Jalen Carson for the Tigers had 8 points in half number 1, and when we saw him down low, he was just a bully on the block. How much more of that do you want to see? And you mentioned Carson. You expect to see a little bit of post action for him tonight, or a little bit of a mid-range jump looks that we have not seen in that first half?
I think they're going to come out and they're going to feed Carson early, because if he can get going down low, the Covenant's going to have to defend that, and that's going to leave their shooters and their guards, specifically Smith and Stafford, to get open shots that they want to knock down. I just don't know. He's such a strong young kid. I'm not sure. I think the only person that they have that can guard him is Trey Flatt.
Tigers will start the third quarter with the basketball. The defending City Alliance Tournament champions trying to avoid the upset here from Covenant Christian. Immediately they go to Carson. A matchup we highlighted all night long. He's now got 10. First Tiger in double figures. We're tied at 30.
Love Brock Buckley, but it's so hard to keep Stafford off the low post as he got that great position.
Flatt picked up his dribble in a bad spot. Luke Shelton comes to the basketball. Now Wilson. Not as much movement without the basketball as we saw in that first half for Covenant Christian. Luke Shelton finds a cutting Buckley. He was stripped. Graham Shelton's there from the elbow. Good. Looked like a frenetic possession, but Shelton calmly knocks down the jump shot.
Love the cut to the bucket by Buckley, but the quick hands of Attucks. Oh, and then the return to sender.
Beautiful block there by Buckley. And a foul on the floor. I believe it's going to go against Covenant Christian.
And they're going to call that on Buckley, boxing out as Carson went up to get the rebound.
I have that as his second unofficially. First on either team. Smith. Back to Stafford. He'll pull from the elbow. That's way short. Rebound Barnett. Power move, his first field goal of the night. He's got 3. We're tied at 32.
Attucks is going to make a concerted effort to make sure and be the Windex team here in the second half and clean up all the backboards.
Flatt waits for a screen. Buckley fakes the screen. Matches up with Carson. Graham Shelton drawing the matchup with hooks. They're so quick defensively.
Yeah, they're unbelievable defensively.
A step slow. They're going to turn it into a turnover, turn it into something. Wilson back to Buckley for 3. Oh, iron unkind. Stafford now feeds inside. Back to Carson, back to the well. Smith at the top. Wild pass. I think he was trying to hope he could draw the defense in and set up Stafford for a triple. Instead, throws it into the Tigers bench.
I think that's the offensive sets they want to run, though. Get it down on the blocks to Carson, have everybody sag in, kick it out to the shooters out on the top of the key to get open shots. They just blew that possession.
Flatt. Nice crossover, almost lost it. Scoop to Shelton. That's short. Shelton tried to secure a steal there, but instead got the forearm of Hooks. Foul will go against Shelton. His first and the second on the Warriors.
Another slow start here.
From what you've seen so far, about halfway through this third quarter, does that favor the Warriors, or is that waiting for blood in the water if you're the Tigers, the way things have kind of slowed down for both teams?
I think it's blood in the water, to be honest with you. I really do.
Hooks.
Right there. See, that's exactly it right there.
Finds a flashing Barnett, puts it up and in. Beautiful cut. They're so precise without the basketball. Lead back to the Tigers. First time since that second quarter. Buckley, he's in trouble. Tipped out of bounds by Barnett. It'll stay on this end.
Unless Covenant shoots lights out from downtown here in the second half, I think Attucks is going to pound it down low until Covenant just has to sag in with some kind of zone, and then that's when the guards go to work for the Tigers.
Buckley goes to his last resort in Shelton. Now Wilson controls. Shelton, a nice cut, finds his brother Graham. He was hot in the first half. No friendly roll there. Big time rebound, though, by Buckley, and an over the back is going to go on Carson. Something we did not see as much as we would have liked to in that first half, Sean. The Warriors being active, whether it's offensive or defensive, in this case offensive, on the glass.
And I'm sure Coach Flatt had a few words to say about that in the locker room at halftime. He knows how important it is for them to win this basketball game to rebound efficiently here in the second half.
Wilson had it stripped from behind. He can go in the backcourt to get it. Matched up with Stafford. Shelton finds Buckley. Flat. Got separation. Got hooks off his feet. Beautiful find. Another pump fake, though, by Graham Shelton. The long arm of the law and hooks. Shut that down real quick.
That wingspan is unbelievable.
Luke Shelton forces the jumper. That's off the mark. Buckley tried to get the board. It goes right to Shelton. Extra pass to Buckley. Now they're fighting down low, and it's stolen away.
I think Buckley may have gotten fouled that first time, but...
You got to make a decision if you're the Warriors. They're one pass too many down low.
Yes, exactly.
Carson. High low to Hooks. Falls to Barnett. His floater. Makes a bad bounce. Rebound, Warriors.
Possessions become more and more precious for Covenant. If they want to win this game, they've got to take care of the basketball.
Just 2 points in this third quarter for the Warriors. Flat trying to change that. Blocked by Carson. Might have forced it there. 2-on-2. Carson measures Flat. Blows right by him. Puts it up and in.
You could take away the might have on forced it there as the referee's talking to Barnett.
Delay a game warning, I think.
Yeah, that was too far away from Flat, and 6'7" Carson on him. You cannot force that shot.
We know that Flat has the ability to knock it down from long range, but you can't force the issue. Timeout taken by Covenant Christian. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll stay here. 3:36 left to go in this third quarter. It's a 4-point advantage for the Tigers. I want to remind you tonight's game is brought to you by College Hunks and Movers. Get a free estimate today. College Hunks and Movers are professional and affordable movers for local and long-distance moves. Their movers and service experts are here to make moving easier. 14 years of experience, family-owned and operated, fast and professional. Call College Hunks and Movers today at 317-516-0569. Sean, inside the Covenant Christian huddle, what is the message from head coach Scott Flatt?
Well, I think it boils down to what they've been discussing this entire game so far. Take care of the basketball. You've got to rebound. You've got to make smart passes. One of the things that they've had problems with tonight so far is trying to force things with the basketball, and that allows the quick hands of Crispus Attucks to get turnovers and get easy buckets. You cannot give this team easy buckets, or they will, like you said, it's blood in the water.
Out of the timeout. Beautiful cut, Flat, extra pass. Might have had a layup there. Crane for three. It worked out. Caleb Crane, his first triple. Give him 7 on the night. A much-needed basket there out of the timeout.
That's huge for Covenant. Covenant needs to find their best shot. They don't need a good shot. They need their best shot in their offense.
Stafford from the elbow, cold-blooded. He's got a quiet 6. Lead back to 3. Flat, a lazy pass by Wilson, almost stolen away. Barnett could not walk the tightrope with it. It'll go back to Covenant Christian.
With the defense on there, they've got, how many passes with no dribbles on that
4.
possession? Very Golden State Warriors-esque, if you will. Sorry.
And they got the triple out of it too, though, so I'll give it to you. I'll let it slide. Wilson matching up with Mays. Wilson's been quiet tonight, just 2 points for him.
The man-to-man defense from Attucks really causes teams to lose control of the basketball.
Not only can you not be accurate with the basketball the way they play their man-to-man, but sometimes you get impatient, you get frustrated.
Yes.
They will either bore you with how aggressive they are on all ends and force you to make a mistake, or worse, it's going to lead to a transition opportunity on the other end.
You can't dribble your way out of that defense, and that's what they want you to do because that allows them to get their fast break opportunities.
Buckley, heavily pressured, finds flat, hesitation, floats, short, rebound to Hooks. There's a foul, and it's going to go the other way. Loose ball, I think, on flat. That's his first.
Is that the team's third or fourth in this half, I believe?
I have it down as the third.
That is their third.
Critical juncture here with 2:09 left in the third. Just a three-point game. Wilson makes a big play, forces the steal. That was kicked. Kicked by Mays. Bounced off his shoe. So we'll try this again.
This is setting up for Covenant Christian. It's 38-35. It's almost the end of the third quarter. Attucks is ripe for the upset. You've got to make the plays to get it done.
Flat in the corner, one-on-one with Barnett. Under 2 to play in the third. Flat finds Shelton. He's all alone, and he made him pay. Tied at 38. Graham Shelton, give him 16 on the night to lead all scores. What an effort by the senior.
You need a guy like that to step up that they don't expect to beat you.
Carson, Euros, and one.
Wow.
And there's an answer from Jalen Carson. My word.
Carson's had to take kind of a back seat this year with the guys that have come in. All 5 of their starters average in double figures, but Carson doesn't get as much of the play as he did in previous years. But tonight he has come to play.
14 for Carson. Makes it 15. Huge basket there. 3-point lead. Back to Crispus Attucks. Less than 90 seconds to go in the quarter. Wilson finds Buckley. Nice move. Spins it. Stripped, though, by Carson. Making plays on both ends. Up ahead to Hooks. He traveled with it, and they don't call it.
Wow.
It's like a halfback running through a hole. Big-time bucket for Jalen Hooks. At least it looked like that at our vantage point. And the lead is 5. Full timeout by the Warriors. Don't go anywhere. More after this. You're watching the City Alliance semifinals on Indiana SRN.
Hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back to Tech High School. A look at the Covenant Christian huddle there. Let's take a look at a big-time basket from Graham Shelton a few moments ago.
Great job by Flat drawing in the second defender in Mays, which allowed Shelton to be open. Hooks tried to get there, but not enough in time. And what a game for Graham Shelton tonight. 16 points.
Carrying the load for the Warriors. Double his scoring average, and we still have a quarter left to play. They're going to need more from him, more from Trey Flat as well. Hang around in this one. Deficit is 5, critical juncture. Wilson gives to Shelton, and Hooks all over him. He threw it off his leg. Out of bounds, it'll stay on this end.
What does that say that they're putting Jalen Hooks on Graham Shelton on defense? That wingspan, they don't want to let him get off any more threes, so someone else for Covenant, whether it be Trey Flat or Buckley or Crane, has to step up and make some shots.
There were many notes and matchups that I had written down coming into this one. I did not have Shelton and Hooks dueling it on there.
No, not one I expected either.
Flat around a screen. Matched up with Carson. Gives to Crane, he'll hesitate. Fake like he was using the screen. Skip pass, Shelton. Long. Rebound falls right to Wilson, though. Less than 30 seconds to go. Crane for 3. Off the mark. Buckley battling for the board. Saves it, but right to Hooks. And he saves it right to Crane.
They got numbers.
Beautiful find. Wilson, it's sent back by Barnett. But Flat has it. Pump fake. A dribble. Hesitation, and he's going to the line for three.
Wow, what a great job there by Covenant to keep the ball alive and get multiple shots. But the last one, Trey Flat, getting guys up in the air to get the 3 free throws. 15 seconds to go. They can be within one possession in the fourth quarter. That's prime for them.
I believe that foul was on Barnett. That's his third. Flat at the line. First one clean. A 76%er on the season. Just the head fake, the hesitation, and then having the presence of mind to get the shooter up and absorb the contact. Misses the second. Take one more look at all this havoc.
The Buckley save, then Hooks tries, then Crane, and then it's down Wilson. Block shot. It's just been crazy.
One of the more intense half-court possessions we've had tonight.
It's been a fun game. It really has.
Flat goes 2 for 3. 15 seconds in the quarter. Tigers by 3 with the basketball.
Mims back in for Attucks.
Stafford to Mims with 5. Inside to Carson. Carson with 2. Bullying. Throws up a wild shot that almost went in. He's fouled from behind with 1.1 to go in the quarter.
Are they going to
call that to add his total?
Are they going to call that on Flat from behind?
The way Flat's negotiating with the official, I believe so.
Yeah, because that was good defense. It was almost a steal on the post pass down to Carson.
Well, just shows the attention that you mentioned that Carson demands. Flat's not going over there unless it's a playmaker that is dominating down low like Carson has done all night.
I thought Buckley had good defense on him, but Flat came from behind as we've got Jaden Ashley and Devon Woods coming in here for this last 1.1 seconds. And I think that's to give his guys extra rest, however much it is.
Carson gets them both. Just a second left in the quarter. So Crane will baseball heave it. Oh, almost went in. Hit the back of the iron, and that ends our third quarter. The Tigers, the defending City Alliance champions, lead by 5 over upset-minded Covenant Christian. Final quarter up next on Indiana SRN.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Start of the fourth quarter, just a few seconds away. Here from Tech High School, Jimmy Cook alongside Sean Kroll. Thank you so much for joining us here on Indiana SRN, and hopefully you've been along for the Super Basketball Saturday on the Indiana SRN family of networks all day long. You mentioned just before we went back on, Sean, that it was a 17-10 quarter for Attucks. Art of the upset for the Warriors. It does not include 10-point quarters.
It does not. They've got to get more open looks and more buckets here in this fourth quarter if they want a shot to upset the 6th-ranked Tigers.
Warriors with the basketball out of the timeout. Wilson gives to Shelton. Shelton now over to Flat. He throws it to the side. Turnover. Not the start you wanted.
No. You got to get a stop here.
Yeah, you got to keep this at 2 possessions where it's at. Carson in deep to Hooks. Well read there by Crane. And a foul is going to be called by the far side official. on Jalen Carson.
Should be his second. We're close to bonus time. I believe that's the third or fourth foul on Attucks. Covenant has 5 in this half, and that could play a huge key down the stretch. Both teams around 63, 64%.
Something we have to keep our eyes on. Flat. Smothered by Mims. Mims better be careful. They bring a double. Flat goes right by it. Finds Crane for 3. In and out.
Man.
Put back, though, is true by Buckley.
That's the kind of plays that Brock Buckley makes.
He's got 7 now. Lead is 3.
Boy, I thought that shot was going down, too, by Crane.
Halfway down, then rimmed out. Good job by the Warriors not to give up the play. Now they're aggressive on the defensive end. Stafford in trouble, forced it to Carson, stolen away by Shelton. 2 big-time plays by the Warriors on both ends. Shelton now ran out of space. And Crane gives to Wilson. Shelton measures Carson. Had Buckley flashing. I don't think he was ready for it. Then go in the backcourt to get that. No, they cannot. No, they're going to say it went off the knee of Buckley. And an over and back. Tough momentum killer there.
That one hurts.
I thought maybe
the tip ball may have had, and then not getting possession again may have made a difference in that call.
It's tough to see from our vantage point. Mims. Mims to Smith.
I'm surprised Smith didn't. Smith must have had the safety on because he had space there to rise and fire.
Well, it just speaks to the type of game that Covenant Christian's been playing. They want to be just as precise as Covenant Christian has been. Mims might have stepped on the baseline. He did. And Mims is like he was favoring the left leg a bit there.
And if you're Covenant Christian, you want Mims to try and be the offensive option here. You don't want Carson or Stafford or Smith to be that guy taking the shot. Let Mims do it.
They've been struggling all night to contain him down low. Go ahead. Do what you want on the perimeter.
Let Mims take whatever he wants.
Flat. Guarded by Mims.
Flat's got to take advantage of this if he's hurting.
That's a foul on Mims. Looked almost like Mims was begging him to go. Oh, excuse me. No, they're going to say
a jump ball. Did they call that a held ball?
Wow. It wasn't a foul, so it was either a jump ball or it just went out of bounds off a flat.
That happened awfully fast to be any of those.
Stafford, skip to Mims. They're trying to go into Carson. Now Hooks, he'll force the issue. Easily lays it up and in.
Boy, Buckley was right there. He should have tried to take the charge, but I understand when you get that big horse coming at you, it's hard to do that.
Lead is 5. Danger territory for the Warriors. Stripped on the way up. Aggressive defense by Mims. It pays off. Carson up ahead.
And Flat just got shoved by Hooks.
Smith lost it, but then gets it back to Hooks. He has 4 in the quarter. Lead is 7, largest of the game for the Tigers, and a timeout taken by Covenant Christian.
And you can tell, you see Scott Flat talking to that official like, this is ridiculous.
Timeout taken by Covenant Christian. I believe it's a full timeout. I believe they've used their 2:30s. We'll take one as well. 5:16 left to go in this final quarter.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families and treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Welcome back to Tech High School. 5:16 left to go in this final quarter. A look at the Covenant Christian huddle. Sean, this is the largest deficit they've faced. We'll have the basketball out of the timeout, but got a lot of work to do.
They do. They need to really kind of shore things up. Again, we've talked about it numerous times. It's the handling of the basketball that's really been the issue tonight for Covenant. And they've really got – all possessions are precious, but right now, with 5:16 to go, you need great shots and big shots from your big-time players. Get the ball in their hands and let them work.
They're doubling Flat there on the inbound. Has to go deep into the backcourt to go get it. Matched up with Mims. Flat, stripped on the way up. Nice help defense by Barnett. Up ahead to Hooks, they force it. Wilson rolled the dice and is going to say it was off the leg of the Tigers, and it pays off. The officials concur.
And I love Jalen Hooks like, hey, push me. He's like, let's just play, fellas. Come on now. Smith has been sitting for quite a while here. He's got 9, had 9 in the first half, nothing in the second half.
Be interesting to see what type of contributions he can make if they call on him on the offensive end being out for that long. Under 5 minutes to go in this final quarter. The 2 seed in the City Alliance tournament, the Tigers lead by 7. Warriors with the basketball. Wilson has it. Shelton had a little bit of space. That window closed. Wilson operates. The way they're smothering Flat, you're going to need another ball handler to make a play. Force the issue. Hook swats it away. Up the floor. Barnett thought he was going to try to slam that home. Instead, calmly lays it up and in. The largest lead has grown to 9.
It's going to get out of hand if Covenant doesn't start handling the basketball better.
Triple by Buckley off the mark. Shelton's there. He'll toss up a 3. That's good. Graham Shelton with 19.
That helps.
A spark of life for the Warriors, but they need to stop on the defensive end. A triple by Carson. Way off the mark. Rebound Buckley. Halfway through this final quarter. Crane gives the Flat. They'll set up the offense. Shelton around a screen. Rise and fire. He hit it.
Oh!
Graham Shelton back-to-back triples. And Covenant Christian very much alive in the City Alliance semifinal.
That's a great play by Trey Flat. You know he wanted to try and take that shot, but found Graham Shelton open, and they're right back in this game.
22. Lob to Hooks, and they're going to say he was fouled going up for it. I don't know if they're going to say he possessed the basketball or not, if that would be in the act. I believe it's out of the 6th or 7th team foul we have, I think is the 6th unofficially on Covenant Christian. Might be free throws anyway. This Shelton triple.
Look at the double pick there on Hooks.
A little elevator screen. Hooks first free throw. Pure.
5 in this fourth quarter.
That ends the 6-0 run.
Only a 39% free throw shooter.
Just about to mention that. As a team, the Tigers shoot at a 63% clip from the line. Hooks left it short. Carson there and puts it back.
Oh, that looked like over the back, but they'll take that three-point play.
19 for Carson. We talked about owning the defensive glass. Warriors unable to do it there. Foul going to go against Barnett. I have that as his 4th.
I do as well.
Just the 4th foul on the Tigers, though. 3:25 to go. 6-point game. Warriors very much alive, but in need of a basket.
Last time they got a big basket from Shelton.
Shelton's there. Closed quickly did Barnett with those 5 fouls. Flat thought about a 3. And almost had it stolen away. He does. Active hands by Stafford. Up ahead to Hooks. He measures inside to Barnett. He lays it up and in. Big swing. Goes the Tigers' way. 8-point game with 3 minutes to go. Shelton forced the issue. It's a turnover.
I'm reminded of Duke, Kentucky, 92. They'll break your heart. Every time, Attucks will break your heart with those turnovers.
And they're speeding up the Warriors these last 3 possessions in a way that we just did not see for the majority of this game.
Yeah, well, I think part of that is the
sense of urgency, no doubt.
Yeah, the urgency from Covenant, and they're trying to do a lot fast, and that's exactly what Attucks wants you to do.
Hooks calmly at the line.
And that's chum to them, you know. We talked about blood in the water.
Both made by Hooks. 10-point game.
And just like that, it goes from 3 to 10.
Blink of an eye. Wilson. Little give and go. He lost the handle, though. And another turnover. Everything going the Tigers' way. These last couple of minutes. Crane active hands. Make that Buckley, rather. Crane was there to scoop it up. Warriors need a basket in the worst way. Flat. Went into contact. That's got to be a foul.
I may have bumped heads.
It looked like Flat, the old Steve Nash move there, getting the defender up, diving into him. That should be 3 free throws if it's in the act for Trey Flatt.
I was thinking more James Harden, but, it works.
Either way, pick your
NBA player at this point.
Pick your awesome ball handler. Take a look at this Shelton 3 a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. He's been tremendous for them.
22 on the night.
Flatt only has 2 in the second half.
First of 3 is good.
And they've all been on free throws.
11 points for him on the night. Averages 18, so that hasn't been there, but you've had a 22-point burst from Shelton, who only averages about 8.
Getting only 2 from Wilson has been a struggle for them as well, but you ride the hot hand, and Shelton's been great for them tonight.
Lomax, who's not available tonight, played in all 13 games coming into this one, averaging 11.5. His absence has been felt. Guys have stepped up, though. All 3 made. 7-point game. Warriors searching for a stop.
Can you force them turnovers like they force yours? Can you kind of mirror what they do here and push their game back on them if you're Covenant? Force some turnovers and get some quick buckets.
Mays' pass deflected by Flatt. It'll stay on this end. Mays gives to Carson. Beautiful cut. Nobody was there. Mays decided to bring it back out.
Clock is their friend.
I was going to say, if you're a first-time watcher of Indiana high school basketball, there's no shot clock here, so a smart play there by Mays in some sense. Continue to milk the clock with a 3-possession lead. Stafford. Heavily pressured. Sean, I got to ask it, at what point are you playing the fouling game here?
Soon.
Mays to Carson. Extra pass to Hooks.
And that's the guy you want to foul.
90 seconds to go. Now you're running out of options. Stafford almost had his pocket pick. Mays has it, and he's fouled with 1:27 to go. A lot of time came off that clock. Third foul on Flatt.
Yeah, I think that was a wasted opportunity for Covenant.
Mays a 70% free throw shooter. The third best free throw shooter on the team.
They let too much time go by.
Mays missed it, though. That's the front of the 1-1. Everybody froze for a second. Here's Buckley. Gives to Crane. Thought about a 3.
Oh, he should have shot that ball.
Shelton to Buckley to Crane. Now he'll take the 3. In and out. He's had a couple of those tonight, but a loose ball foul called against Stafford. That's just the 6th team foul, though, on the Tigers. So no free throws. It'll just be baseline out of bounds.
It's Stafford's first. Smith back in.
Guarding the ball. Flat to inbound, quickly to Wilson. And looking for Shelton. Barnett with those 5 fouls all over him. Wilson gives to Buckley. They find Flatt, catch and shoot. He knocked it down!
Big bucket.
Trey Flatt with 16, 4-point game, under a minute to go. Stafford, skip pass, it's tipped. Crane cannot chase it down.
Oh, that was close.
They went for everything, down low to Hooks. Crane closed that gap, and it'll be a corner inbounds there for Covenant Christian. Smith quickly into Carson, and he's wrapped and fouled. Galen Carson, a 59% free throw shooter coming in. 1-1 still in effect. That's the last 1-1 opportunity, and he fouls the rest of the way by Covenant Christian. Will be 2 shots.
Yeah, I start to wonder, has Covenant, if somehow they don't find a way to come back and win this game, have they given Cathedral a blueprint?
Perhaps a lot of content on paper, but I think you would agree, though, not to undercut the point, but with how much we've seen of Cathedral this year, they might not need a blueprint in this one.
That's true.
Carson calmly knocks them both down. 5-point game. Under 50 to go in the quarter. Flatt almost lost it. Flatt hoist from the volleyball line. Wide of the mark. I don't know that you needed to force that there, but he is the senior.
He is. He relies too much on his right hand.
Quick inbound, almost forced the turnover. Now you got to get back to fouling. It'll be 2 shots, though. Flat has 3. Able to force a tie-up, and I think that Smith might be out of bounds. Or make that Stafford, rather. Turnover to the Warriors.
You don't have very much time. You definitely need, it's 2 possessions. You definitely need a 3 here. You got to try and run some, if you're going to double screen for Shelton.
You don't have a lot of time. You're right, Sean. It's a timeout, I believe, taken by Attucks to 30. You don't have a lot of time. However, there is enough time to not have a repeat of what happened last possession.
Yes.
You don't need to just force up a 3. Great opportunity in this timeout if you're Coach Scott Flat to get something good drawn up.
Yes, Crane's hit a couple of 3s as well, I believe. He's hit 1 3. He can shoot the 3. Buckley can shoot. All the guys can shoot the 3. Wilson is the only one that hasn't really shot one tonight. You've just got to find your first good open look and be unafraid to pull the trigger.
We've seen Wilson handle the majority of primary point guard duties tonight. Out of this timeout, assuming Wilson's still on the floor, which I assume he will be, do you expect that to be the case again?
I expect it to be flat. It's the senior. He's not getting it because he's the coach's kid, but he's been in the program for 4 years. He knows exactly what they want to run. And maybe Wilson's going to be the secondary choice in the outlet should there be pressure put on Trey Flat.
I suppose the reason I might say go with Wilson is that way you have screeners setting them for not just Shelton, but also Flat on a catch-and-shoot opportunity.
That is true. It looks like
it's a long way to go.
Flat's going to inbound it, so there's our answer.
Going to try to get it into Wilson, and he does. 25 seconds to go, down by 6 with the basketball.
Need some urgency here.
Wilson. They run the set, trying to find Shelton. They do. Shelton takes a dribble from the volleyball line. That might have gotten blocked. Rebounded cleanly by the Tigers. They have a chance to put this one in the cooler at the charity stripe.
Too far away. You can't force those kind of shots. You take a couple more seconds and get a better look. I think Wilson, honestly, took too much time coming across the 10-second line.
They weren't deliberate enough with running that set. Whether it was Wilson, whether it was the screeners up at the top. First free throw good by Smith. Give him 11 now. We'll have one more. That one's good as well. 12 for Smith, 8-point lead for the Tigers. Flat controls. He'll rise and fire for 3. Off the mark. Rebound clean by the Tigers. No fouls by Covenant Christian. Barnett going to go and have a shot at the end. That does not go down. The Tigers survive a scare and move to Monday night with an opportunity to go back-to-back in the City Alliance Championship when they take on Cathedral. The final in this one. Tigers took everything Covenant Christian could throw at them. 62-54, your final.
Great job after what happened last year when Covenant got blown out, got their doors blown off by Attucks. They did a great job. They had a game plan. They tried to run it as best they could. Attucks is just so loaded and so quick defensively, especially with their hands. As you look at the senior Trey Flat, that it's so hard to have to make the perfect play every time, and Attucks lulls you into those plays that you don't really want to take, but you feel like that's your only opportunity. Turnovers, easy buckets, Carson down low. It wasn't the type of game that Attucks normally plays, but they found a way to win.
We talked about this a lot in pregame, how you were going to need a perfect blueprint if you were Covenant Christian to pull off the upset tonight. Tigers obviously come away with the win, but there's nothing to be ashamed of if you're Covenant Christian going against one of the top teams in all of Class 4A. You can make the case one of the top teams in the entire state.
Yes.
And you gave them everything they could handle in this ballgame.
I think they 100% walk out of this gym with their hands held high, knowing they were within a couple possessions of Crispus Attucks, ranking-wise, 6th best team in the state. But they are one of the best teams in the state of Indiana. You're a 2A school. You are going to look back, and this is a game right here that is, in my opinion, is going to propel you in the Class 2A sectional regional semi-state.
We always look at how important it is to have quality matchups on your schedule that prepare you for the second season when the postseason rolls around. You're exactly right, Sean. This is one of those games where Covenant Christian's going to be able to look back at this. They're going to know that a powerhouse in Crispus Attucks, you were right there with them throughout the majority of this game. It wasn't enough tonight, but good news is there is still a tomorrow at this point in the season. Plenty of time to regroup and work your way towards your ultimate goal of winning a state title in Class 2A.
And you got great performances from a guy like Graham Shelton with 22 points. Flat ended up with 16. You know you've got guys that can make plays in those games. If a Trey Flat isn't feeling it, you know you've got the opportunity to have other guys step up and make plays and make buckets that'll help you advance.
The Warriors fall to 12-2 on the season and are bounced out in the semifinal round of the City Alliance tournament. They'll next be in action 6 days from now when they host Traders Point. That'll be a 7:30 tip. For Crispus Attucks, well, they'll be back in action on Monday night. An opportunity to defend their city championship in a rematch of last year's title game when they take on Cathedral. That'll be a 7:30 start. It'll be right here on Indiana SRN. Kurt Darling and Sean Kroll will be on the call for that one. It'll be a fun contest as always. And Sean, if you're as lucky as we were a year ago, hopefully you get another double overtime thriller. It sure was a fun one last night. It's a matchup that, once again, is highly billed, highly touted, and I think it's going to deliver on Monday evening. It's going to be a fantastic basketball game. I cannot wait, especially if you get the performances like you got from Carson that against that. You know, Cathedral's so good, and they've got lots of guys that can score, but so does Attucks. It's going to be a battle of wills and tempo. Again, join us 7:30 on Monday night, where a City Alliance champion will be crowned. Will it be Attucks once again, or will Cathedral return to capture the championship? That's right here on Indiana SRN. That was Sean Kroll. I'm Jimmy Cook. For our entire staff and crew tonight, I'm saying so long, everybody. Again, our final in this one, the Tigers of Crispus Attucks 62, Covenant Christian 54. The Tigers move on to Monday night's championship game against Cathedral. And until we talk to you next time, so long, everybody.